Today we're talking about my trip to Thailand, which was back in 2008. So a long time ago. And I went there, my skill level was pretty good. I was 8-0 as an amateur. And I went there with a decent amount of confidence, got some good sparring in when I was there. First time I realized, whoa, my skill level's pretty high because I've only trained with people back in Victoria. I didn't really know how good the people in the rest of the world were. But even though that trip was great, and I came back a much better fighter, much more well-rounded in the sense I learned how to clench, I learned how to throw elbows, my knees got way better. But in spite of all that, when you go to Thailand, you need to recognize where their weaknesses are. And if you let them, they will adapt your style to have some very bad habits. One in particular of which we're going to focus on today in case you're making this mistake or you end up going to Thailand and you recognize, at least after watching this video, that, oh, okay, I can't let this happen because the repercussions are basically you get KO'd. That's how bad it is. Now, I want to also say that it's been, like I said, a long time since I've been to Thailand. 2008. Holy smokes, that was a long time ago. Got distracted here. It's like, oh, I have something in my glove. A little thing that they give us when we go to the events. Lets you in. I hold on to these sometimes if it's kind of cool looking. So anyway, these are the gloves I fought in for that title right there. So what I want to say about going to Thailand now is they may have improved on what I'm about to talk about. Why so? Because in the past, before 1FC was such a big thing, before they were bringing in all the Thai fighters to compete in their organization, Thailand was pretty much all about Lumpini, Rajama Stadium, all these other ones, and the emphasis was on scoring with the legs, scoring in the clinch. The Muay Thai rule set, which we know from long ago. Now that 1FC is there, the fighters are so much more reliant on their hands. And because of that, perhaps this error that I'm going to address right now has been corrected. So the first time I got there, we're hitting pads, bang, bang, bang. They want more power. They tell me, no, you don't hit here and come back. You hit here and you drop. You drop so that when you hit somebody, boom, it kind of like drops into the chest instead of going that direction, kind of boom, down into the chest, and you get that mad extra power. In all fairness, you do see people like McGregor. When you watch him punch, he doesn't hit here and pull, he kind of whips down. And I think there's something to be said for increasing power. But when you don't have awesome distancing, when you don't have that McGregor style where you hit your heads off the center line, when you're able to pull back on punches and have people miss by millimeters, when you don't have all of that, what are you left with? You're left with this situation where your chin is not covered by your shoulder. And in addition, if we look at how long does it take to do that versus how long it takes to do that, everybody who's a martial artist knows that those little milliseconds start adding up, and the longer you're exposed, the longer it takes for your hand to get back to your chin, the more problem you're going to have. So when I was there and they were having me hit those single shot crosses, they would actually hold the Thai pad like this because they want you dropping down. They don't want you coming straight in. And it's a habit which I fought against the whole time I was there. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. No, I recognize this is not my style. Obviously, once in a while when they'd say like, try this, I would try it. But when I came back, I disregarded it. So be very careful that you are always prompt on hitting the shot and pulling directly back. I teach all the time, and this is true. The punch is not done until it returns back to here. You could have the fastest extension in the world. You're boom, whipping it out. But if you're kind of rolling it back like this, or you're sluggish on the reach chamber, you're going to get countered. And dropping down when you finish your punch is going to leave you more exposed. But again, they are boxing a lot heavier now, so maybe they've corrected this. Maybe pad holders are not having the fighters do it, but you need to be aware. You need to make sure it's not something you're doing yourself, unless again, you have a style that is very conducive to having your head exposed for a longer period of time. And that's somebody who's more based off head movement and footwork as opposed to blocking off the arms. So for all the beginners, the novices, even the intermediates out there, this is about understanding what your fight style is and building based off that. And like I said, there's lots of good stuff you can learn in Thailand, but there are weaknesses that you will develop by being there for too long. I went for about 10 weeks. I came back, I had a fight, I think about 6 weeks after I returned, and my hands were nowhere near as good as they were when I left. So I came back and I had to sharpen all that back up again. But on the plus side, the lower half of my body was great and the clinch was amazing. That next fight, I tossed my opponent so many times. It was spectacular. But anyway, I wanted to run that by you because I know many people are hoping to go to Thailand, have trained in Thailand, and we want to make sure that this drop down situation is not happening. It's no good. Avoid it, stay safe, hit, back to the head, hit, move your head, but the hand is there and it's ready to do its thing.